I really wanted to talk to you about my rules of success and about visualizing your dreams, because it is so important to know exactly what you want to accomplish and what you want to do. The key principles also are, and that brought me incredible success always in several careers, from bodybuilding to acting and from public service to politics, are simply the rules of work like hell. Trust yourself, break some rules, don't be afraid to fail, ignore the naysayers, and stay hungry. Let me tell you, I've made a fortune in several careers, and I've been very successful in several careers by ignoring the naysayers and believing in myself. Imagine you're 15 years old and you're in Austria and you say to the people, I want to be the bodybuilding champion of the world. Of course they come to you and say, but wait a minute, this is not an Austrian sport. Skiing, you should be a ski champion, a soccer champion, or a track and field champion. That's Austrian. But bodybuilding, that's an American sport. But you know something? I had it very clear in my vision and I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a bodybuilding champion. And I started training 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day. By the time I was in military service, at the age of 18, I trained 4 or 5 hours a day. And I became the youngest Mr. Universe ever. The youngest world championship at the age of 20. So much for it can't be done. And right after that, because like I said, you have to be hungry, I went after my next goal, which was to come to America. My whole life I wanted to come to America. I came over here with empty pockets, but full of dreams, full of desire. I had this fire in the belly, and I knew that the United States was where I could really succeed. The possibilities here are endless. I wanted to live the American dream because this is the land of opportunity. I knew that this was where I could continue my bodybuilding career and start acting also, go into the acting profession. So I immigrated here and I kept training and training hours every day, 5 hours, 6 hours a day, and won one world championship after the other. By the time I was finished with bodybuilding, I won 13 world championship titles, more than anyone. And then again, I was hungry to move on because you can't do bodybuilding for the rest of your life. I wanted to move on, and I knew it was acting that I wanted to get into. But again, I faced the same obstacles where people said it can't be done. When I talked to agents, they said to me, you cannot become just an actor and walk into movies. I say, I just don't want to become an actor. I want to be a leading man. They say, well, forget about that. And they laughed. I mean, with your accent, no one has become a leading man with your accent. And with your body, look at all those bumps sticking out. This overdeveloped body they were in 20 years ago when they did Hercules movies, but now it's Dustin Hoffman, it's Al Pacino, it's Woody Allen. Those are the new sex symbols. Don't you understand it? Look at you. Forget it. It will never happen. And with your name, Schwarzenschnitzel, or whatever your name is, I can see that already up there in the billboards. That isn't going to sell any tickets. But you know something? I didn't listen to them. I started working very hard, just like in bodybuilding, 5-6 hours a day. I went to acting classes, speech classes, dialogue classes, accent removal classes, everything that you can think of I did. And slowly everything started happening. All of those liabilities that they talked about started turning into assets. When I did Conan the Barbarian, the director came to me and he said, if we wouldn't have you, we would have had to build one. And on Terminator, the director said, I couldn't imagine to have anyone play Terminator that wouldn't have an accent and they wouldn't have your body. I cannot imagine the line, I'll be back, with a normal American accent. It works so perfectly that you have this German accent. So all of those things that they say the liabilities became an asset. As moment went on, it grew and grew, and I went from one movie to the next, started making more and more money, and then I ended up being the highest paid actor with $30 million on Terminator 3. That just shows you again so much for it can't be done. This is why I try to tell you, anything and everything can be done if you can visualize it and if you believe in yourself. It was the same thing again when I ran for governor. You can imagine when I went on the Tonight Show and I announced that I'm going to run for governor of the great state of California. People came to me afterwards and said, you're crazy. You don't announce something like this on the Tonight Show. You have an official press conference at the state capitol. Plus, you don't start with governorship. You start first with mayor or with state senator. And I said, I don't want to be senator. I don't want to be mayor. I want to be governor. Don't you understand that? Well, the rest is history. I won in 2003 and I won also in 2006. And let me tell you, you're going to find the naysayers in every turn that you make. Don't listen. Just visualize your goal, know exactly where you want to go. Trust yourself. Get out there and work like hell. And break some of the rules and never, ever be afraid of failure. I couldn't have gone to one lifting event in my life if I would have been afraid of failure. Because of course there's a chance that you can fail. When you lift the weight, I tried 10 times to lift and bench press 500 pounds. And I failed, but the 11th time I did it. So never give up and never be afraid of failure, because otherwise you box yourself in and you limit yourself. I was never afraid to fail when I ran for governor. I was never afraid to fail to tackle anything, because you should not be afraid of failure. That's just part of life. I've lived by those principles and I've had a lot of fun doing it, and I made a lot of money at the same time. And of course, I have to tell you that no matter how successful you get, no matter how old you get, you always have to be hungry for more. You always have to be hungry for learning new things, because you never learn enough. I, for instance, learned when I grew up, I always thought that greatness was directly tied to fame and fortune. I thought that the big career and the money and the achievement would equal success, but I was dead wrong. But I learned that later on. You all should go and be hungry for success. You should be hungry to make your mark, and you should be hungry to be seen and to be heard and to have an effect out there. But as you move on and become successful, make sure to also stay hungry for helping others and looking beyond that mirror. Start by simple things like coaching a school soccer team, or helping a child learn and to read, or deliver meals to someone who is homebound. As use your power of potential and make this nation and this world a better place. It worked for this immigrant that came over here to this country with $20 in a pocket, and I know and I guarantee you it will work for you too. The 2010 graduates of Emory University. I am proud of each and every one of you of how far you've come, and I know you're gonna be great contribution to this state and to the world. So congratulations once again, and God bless all of you. Thank you very much. Thank you.